Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show today. Again, my early in the week impromptu video filmed POV and very little editing. Let's get stuck into it today. We've got, I think, 5 fragrances that I've got to be honest with you, they are dated. These smell dated, but I think they smell great. If you can handle that combination, stay tuned. By the way, if you want to get fragrance samples in the USA, Canada, or Puerto Rico, please go to myfragrancesamples.com. There is a link in the description of this video. First one then, going way back in time. This is old school juice, Dunhill for men. Still available today, as I think are all of these, and quite a few of them very affordably. This one you can buy for £20 or just over that in the UK online for the 100ml bottle. 1934 release here, Dunhill for men. I rather like the bottle design. It has a certain charm about it. I like that. What do you think about that? I'll give you the note listing. Amalfi lemon, the only type of lemon I prefer. Lavender, nutmeg, geranium, carnation, woody notes, iris, rose, jasmine, leather. We also have oak moss, vetiver, sandalwood, Virginia cedar, and tonka bean. So this is a really, really charming, old school, stuffy English gentleman type of smell. You really want to wear a tweed jacket or something like that. It has a certain freshness. It definitely has that. It has floral tones. It has sort of dapper, gentlemanly undertones to it. It does have this rugged undertone. There's a bit of leather in there. There's vetiver. There are things in there which are rather masculine, which will certainly be off-putting to some viewers of this video who prefer, if you're looking for a clubbing scent, not this. This really isn't particularly sexy, but there's something gentlemanly and dignified about the overall aroma. I find it very charming and a good choice for any kind of dressed up smartly situation. Probably not a hot date night fragrance, but when you just don't care what other people think, I still think a decidedly pleasant, distinguished, old-fashioned, floral, woody, and not notably spicy, actually. Floral, woody, and somewhat fresh would be my description. I really like that one. So that's Dunhill for men. Let's move on. Several decades later, 50 years later, in fact, we had the release of Giorgio for Men by Giorgio, Beverly Hills, 1984 release. Great fragrance, this one. It's similar, actually, to vintage Givenchy Gentleman, a 1974 release, and it has shared notes of honey and patchouli. This is really good stuff. You can buy it very, very affordably online. Again, a real old school smell. Not everyone's going to take to this. Not a hot date night fragrance. Younger people may not appreciate this one, but let's give those younger people a chance. You're never too old to smell old-fashioned, definitely dated smelling aldehydes, orange, fruity notes, bergamot, patchouli, rose, carnation, cinnamon, sandalwood, cedar, orris root, honey, oak moss, benzoin amber, vanilla, musk, and tonka bean. So there's this honey and patchouli combo. It's rich, it's warming, it's a little bit sort of leathery too, and definitely a very pronounced patchouli accord. If you like that, you'll like it. If you don't, you won't like it. Definitely smells masculine, smells of the 80s, smells of the alpha male of the 80s, or the days when men were men, and I like that. Again, great fragrance, not at all a modern smell. It does smell old-fashioned. I gotta be totally honest. Let's move. Oh, by the way, guys, go to our website for Norton & Wilson was down for a few days for a bit of a refurb, looking a little bit smarter and easier to navigate now. Go to nortonandwilson.com to check out our amazing range of fragrances, including the spectacular new released Gravitas Essentia, stunner for the spring and summertime, and well, all year round if you like, a fresher flanker to the original Gravitas pour on. Okay, let's move on. Next fragrance I'm going to highlight here, actually, we're going to go for Le Barbiere de Tonjour. I only have a teeny little thing there from the brand, actually. I've got through about 25 mils. I got a long story, but I got their 12 mil samples. MDCI Parfums. Let's represent it with this one, which comes in the same bottle that I do own. So this is Le Barbiere de Tonjour. No, it's not. This is Invasion Barbar. This is by the same brand, MDCI Parfums. So it's a French brand. But actually, that one's really nice. But the more old-fashioned smelling one is actually this more recent release, which is Le Barbiere de Tonjour. It came out in 2016. And Sophie Behagel was the perfumer, and it's a really classic old school barbershop scent. It's actually similar perhaps in some ways to things like Platinum Egoist from Chanel and maybe At the Barbers by Maison Margiela as well, I think. Note listing for by the way, this one more expensive, £220 for a 75ml bottle, so that's pricey. Bergamot, basil, cardamom, tangerine, lemon, cologne, that's C-A-L-O-N-E, petitgrain, lavender, pineapple, you won't smell that, it's not like Aventus, forget that, galbanum, apple, oak moss, vetiver, woody notes, patchouli and amber. So it has the classic barbershop dapper, talcum powder-esque thing, shaving foam kind of vibes. It definitely has that kind of dihydromercenol accord that you do pick up in things like Platinum Egoist. It's funnily enough, it's even in Green Irish Tweed by Creed. Very classic, dry, not sweet, and so the older one there. Invasion Barbiere has this sweet spiciness. This is a classic, dry, dapper, gentlemanly, very old school smell. Don't think it's been a commercial success, perhaps because of that. Old fashioned in a really good way. Absolutely love that one. So check out Le Barbiere de Tonjour. I think it doesn't get the credit it deserves. Next up, real old school juice again here. It's Floris Elite. I really love Floris Elite, and I've got through quite a bit of my bottle there. You can buy Floris Elite online for amazing prices in the UK. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I got no dog in this race. 100ml bottle, £59.95 on Notino. 1980 release, bergamot, juniper, Virginia cedar, pettigrain, grapefruit, fir. We also have lavender, bay leaf, oak moss, leather, cedar, vetiver, amber, patchouli, and musk. So a lot of the note listings are the same. This is the most green of our bunch here, and as the juice, the sort of disgusting mouthwash effect colour there. I'm sure that's not natural. Very, very nice, green, bitter, fresh fragrance. You get a lot of bergamot, you get a little hint of juniper, and then you get this very refreshing, almost soapy, green, old school vibe again. Not particularly sexy, as are none of these in and of themselves, but maybe just being that old fashioned and not giving a damn could be sexy. What do you think about that? I really like this one. Beautiful fragrance. So next up, let's go for Habit Rouge. Habit Rouge from Guerlain. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a better thing at the label there. Habit Rouge from Guerlain, 1965 release, now in new packaging, but I would assume Guerlain have maintained the scent as the one we love and know so well. Mine is not that old either. Don't worry about necessarily seeking out the vintage. This is a 1965 release. You can get 50ml now for 40-something pounds online in the UK and spend 70-something for the 100ml. So not a mega cheapie, but reasonably priced. And for the quality of the juice, I think it's well worth it. Really, really fascinating fragrance. Different to all the others. They've shared some notes and sort of profile characteristics in their scent. This one is a different kettle of fish, if you don't mind the expression. Jean-Paul Guerlain was the perfumer back in the mid-60s. Lemon, Brazilian rosewood, my preferred type of rosewood, Kazakhstani rosewood. I forget it. Brazilian. Now you're talking. Orange, bergamot, limes, multiple limes, not just one. Tangerine, basil. We have also rose, key player. Carnation, sandalwood, cinnamon, patchouli, jasmine, cedar, vanilla, leather, amber, benzoin, oak moss, and labdanum. So this one has it's citrusy, and yet it has this citrus combination with rose and a hint of vanillic sweetness, and the classic Guerlain, somewhat powdery, so-called Guerlainard undertone is in there. It really is unique. It is, again, an old-school smell. Some people really dislike this because of that one. It may not be your cup of tea, but I rate this one really highly. I've had compliments on this in the supermarket from a complete stranger, which is always a nice experience. Doesn't happen to me often. I really like that one. It's probably the most unique of the bunch. The others have their sort of generic links to other things in their own style. This one, remarkable. Habit Rouge from Guerlain. If you thought this video was fun, I'm a bit different to some of the other reviewers who tend to, there's a lot of the same list with the same fragrances. At least I'm different, possibly in a way that I'm much worse than them. But if you do like my style, please subscribe if you're new here. And, maybe even if you don't like this video, subscribe anyway. Maybe the next one could be better. It could hardly be any worse. Wristwatch of the day is I'm actually wearing an Omega Constellation. And this is a 1956 Omega Constellation with a pan dial there. I really love this watch. It has actually a restoration dial, hence the lack of any patina, and that's a less desirable quality, but it has been expertly refurbished and very much as it might have come out of the factory. It's gold capped, so you can see there sort of a thin, solid gold cap rather than simply gold leaf plating on a steel case. And the bracelet, again, is a vintage gold-plated bracelet, not actually an Omega. It's automatic, only a 34mm size. Let's get a little bit more on the detailing there. I love, let's see if we can make that work, maybe not. Let's hold it like that. Yeah, nice stuff. I like all the indices there, the way the hands are and the writing. Really charming. 34mm, very old school, but that's the kind, again, a dated watch for a dated video. What do you think about that, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.